Okay, hi everyone. I hope we are live. A very good evening. So I'm just checking the chats. We have 52 people. Just let me know if you guys can see me. Okay, hi. How are you all? Okay. Okay, so quite a few people are still joining. Meanwhile, let's have a quick round of introduction, guys, in the chat. So seeing some people having fun in the chat. Kapil and Talha. Try to be a little respectful. Okay, just give me a minute. That should work. Okay, so how are you guys? I'm Prasad. I'm one of the co-team members here at Let's Upgrade, and today we are back with the no code. You can say program where we are going to learn how to create apps without using any line of code, and that is where we're going to use Appsheet for this whole thing. So this is going to be a 3 day program, but we'll try to wrap it mostly under 2 days, and we should be done with the project. So let me just quickly show you while other students are joining of what we are going to create. So the idea that I have is like how many of you guys have used an app called as Book My Show, where you book movies, or you get your tickets, or you apply for some event, you go on a wait list, and then you get an approval, and then you get a ticket. Something of that sort is what I have in mind, and we'll try to see how much can we complete in the 2 days. If we can do it, the best. If not, then we'll have the third day. Yes, it will be live. So let me just quickly try to show you the app. Okay, let me just switch. I guess there is. Let me. I have to switch it into multiple screens. Just give me a second, so I know I am able to see you as well. Meanwhile, right, other students are also joining, and I have your quick introductions. Can we just quickly know from which all cities you guys are joining? So I am from Mumbai, so I'd love to know from where all you guys are joining, so that quickly till then, students can join as well. Yes, Sudarshan, we will also do a course on Flutter Flow real soon. So actually, we were planning this in June. So if not June, then by July you should have a Flutter Flow course on the platform as well. Okay, I've pushed this here, and now we have the chat as well. Right. So this is the kind of app that I am planning to do. Let me know if you guys can see my screen, and let me also put my video into floating mode. Yep, this should be fine. Don't know if I can move this to somewhere else. Nope. This is going to be like this. Yeah. So now let me see the chat. Okay. So hi, I see quite a few people who I know already. Hi, Swapnil. How are you? Right. So this is the kind of app that we are planning. So this is basically going to be the list of events that happen in your area. And suppose if I want to join for some event, so I can basically go and see what event is happening, and there would basically be a teaser video for this app, or sorry, for the event, right? Something like this, where the user can see the teaser video, and then you can have the description, the capacity, and everything. And if you see, right, the vacancies change. Okay, I think yes, you guys will get a certificate as well. Do not worry about that. Right, if you see, right, we have the number of vacant seats that change based on how many applicants have been there. And I believe I have already applied for all the events, so there is some application button. Okay, let me just fix this. I'll show you how it works. So basically, we are going to apply for some events, and it's your application is basically going to go on hold. And let me just see which event is this. Deleting this row. Let's do a refresh. and some of the events I believe I should not have registered already. So basically you get an application form, basically, which puts you into the wait list. Some of, yeah, so here it is. If you see, right, there's a register now button, which comes on the top. So since I am you viewing it like a mobile, sorry, on the desktop it is like this. If you're on a mobile phone, it would be basically somewhere down here like a ticket button that you have, right? So we'll see that as well. I'll try to put this into inspect and see if that works. Not quite sure on that, but let's check it. No, so I'll show you how it looks. Yeah, this is how it is going to look in your mobile. So this is how the event page is going to look like. uh Let me just also, right, and then if I go into any one of these events, let's suppose I do not, again, okay, I forgot which event I clicked on. So I'm just doing this demo till the other students are joining, and then we'll start building this stuff along with you. And I'll break this down to very detail. So what you're going to learn in the next 2 days is basically how to create the database for this. And you'll be surprised, since it's a no code app, we don't have to code anything, right? So of course we do not have to do the database coding as well. And that is where we are going to use something called as Excel, that you guys already know, right? Google Sheets as a database for this whole project. And Appsheet is going to be the platform that you're going to use to build this app, right? So I'm just, we have 140 people. Okay, let's wait a couple of minutes more, and then we'll start with the introduction of how to get started with the registrations, and then we'll quickly deep dive into building this. Yeah, this is how you're basically going to get. Now if you see, right, there's 200 capacity. uh Anybody please confirm if you guys can see that? Yes, you can create an e-commerce app as well, right? And then once you, okay, where is my cursor? Yeah, and once you basically click on this, right, so it basically puts you into a wait list. And now I should be somewhere in the wait list. Let me just go and refresh. Yeah, uh now since I am an admin, I have all the access, so we'll learn also about how to give access and everything. Now if you see, right, I am into wait list, right? There is one wait list that is there. This is some other person. Let me check why where my name is there. Yes, it was bike race. Yes. So if you see, right, I can basically give a wait list approved and not approved based on the number of applications that are remaining. Now if I go and give at it as an approved, now see what happens. Okay, I am going to basically get a mail which says that, okay, your ticket has been approved, and you have this QR code. You can bring this QR code at the venue place, and it will be scanned by the organizers or so, like it happens in actual events, right? So that is something that we are planning to build. And we'll see on the way how we can do that. And just a minute, I'll have to stop my video. There's some not video as in, I'll just remove the screen and add it again. There's some mail I have to open, so I need to show you how that looks. I'll just open it and reshare my screen. Yeah, I guess we are good to go. Yes, this is how the mail again it is. Now we are going to structure this email again. Do not worry about that. But if you see, right, you have a PDF down there, which is going to have your QR code like this. Now don't worry, this QR code is basically messed up, but we will again rework this out. And this is how basically the flow is going to look like. As soon as you get a confirmation, you will get a proper email. We'll change everything. And this is, of course, this is something we have set in the automation. So I'll teach you about automations as well, how you can push notifications to the app, how you can send emails on some actions, right? How the user can get notified if something happens on your app, and all of that stuff, right? So we have 120 people. Okay, let me just refresh. It's getting stuck. Okay, so let's quickly start off building this thing. And before that, right, to all the people who are new and joining us for the first time, I'll quickly go and show you how to get registered and how all of that stuff works in next 5 minutes, and then we'll quickly get into Excel sheets and building this whole app. And if you guys can follow along, that's great. If you're not, the video is going to be there after this session also, so you can basically go and check that as well, right? So the very first step that you guys need to do is basically go into this description that is down there, or of course the link is again posted, yeah, you can say pinned in the chat. Just click on this link and it should open you, take you to this basically one link documentation that has everything regarding this program. And if you guys already know this process, just wait 5 minutes when I till explain to the other folks who are joining us new, right? For all the people who are new, this is going to be the go-to documentation throughout the whole class. Your lecture notes, your link to attendance, everything where you can mark attendance is mentioned here. Enrollment link, it will be take you there. The document link is again here, which will take you to this doc. This is no code doc. If you want to join the student ambassador program, the program is right here, where you can earn swags, get some expert sessions and everything for free of cost. This is the lecture link which will take you to all the sessions. What all things we are going to cover is rightly mentioned here. Again, this is just a framework. We'll do a lot of practical things. And now in the next couple of minutes, what I'm going to explain is documented here. If you see, I'm quickly going through this process because I know a lot of you people know this is just for the new folks. So the steps to, there are only three steps in this program. First is to get enrolled. Second is to complete the sessions along with me. Third is to get your certificates. That's it. And this is what is covered here with proper screenshots. I'll take you to the process again as a walkthrough. Do not worry about that. Now the main thing, right? So there is a little bit of theory that I have added to come to clear some doubts, and we'll go through this. Not all of this, of course, because you might feel asleep, and so would I, right? So we'll touch base on few of the questions. Like I saw one question in the chat which said, you can say which is better, no code or low code, or which is easy, right? So that is where we're going to have few discussions. If you'd love to have any questions answered, please put that in the chat right away. Okay, and then again, this section is totally for you guys to study later, right, as theory, and then we will start building with the project. Right here, let me just go and type it. Okay, just a minute. So I can write and you can basically get the changes live there on the Notion doc while you are seeing this. Okay, for the people, I guess there's some issue with the no all-in-one doc. Let me just put a full link as well. It should be there in the description again. See, the full link is right here. So we did put a shortened link, but you can of course use it from the full link again. I'll just quickly put in the chat a couple of times for you to refer. uh AI point, no, it's not copy pasting. Instead of code, we are going to use Google Sheets formula, and it is basically like you just make few changes in the UI and it basically does the codes behind of it. So it's basically, you should know how things work, what are variables, what are the data types, but you did not write to you need not write the code. That is basically the difference. A little bit of knowledge is okay, and even if you do not know, it's fine. This is one of the platforms. Again, there are multiple platforms. There is Bubble, there is Webflow, there is Flutterflow, and a lot of people, Wix is also there, right, which lets you create a website. Google Sites is one of those things. So it depends on the use case of what you want to build, right? So now, yeah, now I have the edit access here. So what we are going to do is, I'm going to put a project here, which is going to be Book Your Show. Okay, so now this is where we're going to come and create the project, right? So we'll be back here in next 5 minutes. And all the people who are new to this program, as I mentioned, what you need to do is, for registration, go to this enrollment link real quick. It will take you to this page where you have to basically sign up based on if you have an account or if you are a new user. Just do that, and that should enroll you into the program. And that's it, you have done with the enrollment. Again, the whole let me just enroll, and you should get a WhatsApp confirmation post enrollment. And if not, sometime it takes some time, but it should come to your WhatsApp. Now again, the whole schedule is right here. A few other programs which I mentioned are right here. Right, if you want to join our Discord, sorry, not Discord is upcoming, so it should be live in a few days, but till then Telegram and WhatsApp communities are right here. If you want to earn some referral coins by sharing it to your friends, you can do that here. Right, and again, that I have already explained the schedule. Now very one important thing, right, for the certificates is that if you click on this particular question mark, right, there will be a pop-up which should give you a clarity on how the certification works. So there are only two criteria: attendance, like there should be attendance marked, and the second thing is the program should be complete, right? So if it's a 3-day session, you have to at least attend two sessions, so that your percentage goes above 50, and the program should be over. So after 1st June, you will be able to download your certificates, right? And you will be getting a button right besides this here. You will be getting you can say a button which says generate certificates, and that's about it. Right, that is the registration process. So this session is going to be for 2 hours. Yes, Google App Sheet is free a little bit, not the all of the things. Again, I'll take you to the pricing as well if it's there. Right. So now quickly let's go to the theory and understand about a few stuff, and let's get started into building. So we have already done with 13 minutes from the session, 18 minutes from the session started. Right. So yeah, first of all, what is the difference between no code and low code? If you guys can answer in the chat, what is the difference between no code and low code? I'm looking in the chat for the answers. What is the difference between a no code and a low code app? There's one question: why don't developers use this instead of coding? Of course, see, coding has its own advantages. You can build it the way you like. You don't have any restrictions for that matter. No code is similar to drag doc. Okay, correct in a way, which has no coding. Got it. Okay, low code is using less code formulas, example formulas, where no code is a thing which didn't need a single line of code. Okay, templates is present in no code, customizable option present in coding. Okay, Student Ambassador program free. Yes, it is free. So you can go and check. The link is in the description. But fine, yeah. Okay, so let's quickly understand what is no code development. So if you just click on this, it's going to have a theory. So no code development is a method of building software's application without writing any code. So all the people who answered it correctly, a shout out to you. Right, we have Swapnil, HP Creations, we have Hogwarts Gaming, we have Valencia, we have Thani Kaivelan, we have Kanan, and we have, yeah, that's it. Right, and again, there's a lot of things, but see, there are different core principles and all of the stuff. See, right, so we'll get down to the advantages. Right, now the major advantage of no code development, why it started booming and what is the advantage, is basically it lets a lot of people who do not know about coding get started with coding. Right, since it's easy to understand, like for people who know how, like they just know what to put where and get things working, they can basically come to no code solutions and start working. Speed, again, if you're an actual developer, right, you know, right, how to start from scratch, understand the process, start writing the code, test everything, and debug and everything, that is eliminated. Right, so you can because these are prefixed lines of code, right, and they are programmed to do a certain set of things, so you know what is going to go where, and so it basically saves times as well. And again, cost wise, you don't have to hire good developers. Of course, if you're not trying to build that of a big app, if you want just a small app that just small things, you can basically do it with no code and at a better price. And again, flexibility, you can change it to the way you want. Now there are a few limitations as well. Of course, this depends on the software or the pricing that you're paying to that app, right? But on an average pricing part, there are issues with performance and scaling, right? When it's like for something like Amazon, you cannot build a no code app. For something like a Flipkart, you cannot build a no code app. It depends on the complexity of the app that you're building. But a small to do application and inventory management, event registrations app or something, that is something will work in the no code app, right? And again, if you're using some software, there's always a dependency, like if it's a third party dependent app, right? So suppose like if we are going using Appsheet, and in some say rare occurrence Appsheet goes down, so it is dependent, like since it's dependent, your app would also go down. Not that Appsheet goes down. From the past 4 years, I've not seen that happen even once, but yeah, there might be cases that happen on some XYZ vendor that you are dependent on. And one major challenge, that is integrations, right? So since, as I mentioned earlier, right, those are pre-written blocks of code, or if there is some drag and drop element that does a predefined thing, so they have predefined integrations as well, right? So you cannot integrate any and everything that you want to integrate in your apps, and that is where you might face some integration challenge. And with that, again, there is of course customization limits, right? You cannot customize the app the way you want, which is possible when you're writing each and every single line of code for yourself. Now, as I mentioned, right, you if you can, basically typical use cases are like automating simple things, as I mentioned, right? Inventory management, to-do list, or some event app, some grocery store, like a small one, right? Or anything for that matter, like automation email system where you put a list, you put a template, and that goes out. Or anything that comes to your mind, right? A ticketing system as well can be automated on a small scale, or some internal, as I mentioned, right? Here it is, right? Now, this is one of the questions that I wanted to take. Let me just close this. And you can, of course, go to the other. Yeah. So, one more question that I'd like to take is the key difference here, right? This is what I guess you can just go through. Is there any app? I'm just looking for your questions. Platform for it is this is Appsheet, Hogwarts. We are going to do it with Appsheet, since, and of course we are going to use database, Excel as a database, right? So again, we will come to this here and there in between, because I don't want you guys to feel get bored. So now, very important thing that we will do now is create the database, right? Create the database of our app. Now again, okay, we're done with the theory, of course, right? So let me just open Notion and log in on this part as well. Login. Yeah. So where is the no code? Yes, you guys are basically seeing what all essentials we do, and you see you're just in the notes for everything, right? But anyway, this is our project, right? So now, very first thing, right? Again, this is a question to everyone who is there. What are the three important things while you build any app, right? Like three components that are important for building any app. Let me see if you guys can answer this. Don't write a paragraph or anything, just tell me the three components that are required to build any app for that matter. Any app. Front end, back end, API. Yes, that's correct. And anyone has another answers apart from this which Swapnil gave? Anyone else who has any different answers for this? Database, backend. Okay, great. MVC model, yeah, that is correct, but we are not going to go that deeper into building apps. So as Swapnil and I guess we have scratched and Praveen, everyone here mentioned, right? What is important for building any apps is basically a front end. Basically, what you see, right? What a user sees, and then you have a backend which handles all the data, APIs, data, and anything that is to be done behind, right, etc. And then you have a database which basically stores the data, right? So this is basically the structure. This is basically the basic structure, right? A complete tech stack, features, themes. That is too much. See, I am asking just three things. Okay, not everything. There can be a number of things, but we'll stick to this front end, back end database. Now, in our case, right? In our case, the front end that is going to be is on your going to be on your mobile. I'll show you how it works. Okay, so and it is again going to be Appsheet, right? The back end again is going to be built on Appsheet, and for database we are going to use Excel or in, okay, Google Sheets, not Excel, Google Sheets. This is going to be a stack. Okay, I hope this is visible, right? So we are going to use Appsheet for this. We are going to use Appsheet for backend. Yeah, we are going to use Google Sheets as a database. Again, what is Appsheet? Appsheet is a platform that lets you build no-code app solutions. N number of customizations are possible depending on which tier you are. There is secure login. There are automations, and recently they have also integrated Gemini into this, so you can basically type what you want and the app gets built. And there are, you can say, possible like n number of possible combinations and customization that you can build and you can imagine. And of course it is a product by Google, of course, so you have all the things that are updated in Google that are available here. You can send mails, you can send push notifications, right? You can do user verifications as well here, right? So all the possibilities are available in Appsheet, and we'll see a few of those. You can create bots, you can create automations, right, that works automatically. And so that's about it. Right now, the first thing, right, so how we will start is we'll start like from the bottom. First we need a database, right? First we need a database. So now let's go and create a database. Let's go and create a database. Again, I'm going to give you a homework for this, so I just want to show you how things work. And because yeah, of course I'll give a template, because I cannot add each and entry everything. I have a predefined template which has the events that we just saw, right, configured. And I'll tell you what all things we're going to learn. So let me just put day one, setting up the data and basic UI. Day two would be majorly the most fun. You can say contexts. There is something called as context view. We will see authorizations. Like authorization basically is like if you are, or like if you are an admin, you can see a few things. If you're just a user, you can see a few things, right? Edit access, authorizations, that is roles and access, and automations and notifications, right? And of course today we are going to, along with this, if possible, if time permits, I'll tell you how to create a proper folder structure. This is something that we usually forget, since when you're coding you properly maintain it in a VS Code. The similar things we can maintain while you're creating things on Drive, or it will be that the files will go missing and you'll not be able to find where you have kept what things, right? Maintain a proper DB structure. Now this is, I'll show you how you can do that and how things get become easy and automated for you. DB for Drive, Drive DB basically, right? So, and if day three happens, so half, like if we are not able to complete all of this year, we will move things to day three. If not, then we should be very well completed with our app, and the app should be live. And of course, if you are on a paid plan of Appsheet, you can basically publish that app on the Play Store as well, right? So Appsheet lets you do that as well, so you can basically have your app on the Play Store. Okay, query Postman API front end. Yes, Appsheet is free, right? So now, as I mentioned, the first thing that we're going to do is a database. So let me just put this. Now let's basically, figure out the entities that we are going to require for this, you can say, app that we want, right? Now again, If you guys know what MVC is, it's basically model view controller. And similarly, model view controller is basically this becomes your model, this becomes your view, and the backend becomes your controller, right? So model, view, and controller. So similarly, model the database. So we will need a database. Of course, we will need a view. View basically means the displays, the pages that will come front when you click here and there. What should be appearing in your app while you're building. So we will have to figure out what views do we need in our event app, right? So I'll just do that again. And for backend, again backend, then okay, we will see of how to do that. We will need authorizations thing to be sorted, so we will write it later. Now the very first thing is DB. Now again, now while you're dealing with, while again this notes is again accessible, guys, this is live something I'm writing. So if you have this link here, as I mentioned, right, for all the people who have joined new, if you guys have, if you're late to this session, whatever I'm writing is right here, you can just copy this. I'm showing it for the last time. I'll show it again after a few minutes if people have joined late. If you have to just go to here and wow, is this not updating? Okay, just give me a minute. There is some mistake that has happened. Yeah, let me just replace this link with this. Yeah, so this is the link. I think this should work. Let me just copy this again and check. There's some old link there. Yeah, so if you land on this page, right, just come down here to the project section and we are writing everything there, and whatever I'm writing is accessible right there. If you can see, right, whatever I'm writing is accessible here. Now let's discuss on what all things are required while we create this app, right? Let's discuss on what all things are required while we create this app. So we were here, right? So what all things do we require? Archit, please go to the website and check. Right, I'll leave the link again is in the description. I'm not going to share it right now, but yeah, the moderators can please share the link to the student ambassador program. So we're starting this program tomorrow, 1st of June. So you still have time to register. It's a 1-month program, right? It's completely free for you guys. You get expert sessions, you get good goodies and swags if you complete the milestones and everything, right? Now, since our database is going to be Google Sheets, your master table, right, where you say your database is going to be the sheet name, right? So your spreadsheet, right, which you called spreadsheet, is going to be your database, right? So your spreadsheet name is equal to your database name, right? I'm just setting a few conventions so that you know. And each sheet is going to be a table. Each sheet inside that spreadsheet is going to be a table. I hope this is clear. So inside Google Sheets, the spreadsheet name is going to be a database name. So you have to consider that, and you can keep it anything because we can customize it later. But that is going to be our main database, and each sheet that we create, a subsequent sheet that we create, is going to be a table. Now, since we are building a event application, the first thing that will require is basically a table which is for events, right? A table which is for events. So let me just write events. Now, what all things does come to your mind when I say that you want to have a database with events? Just tell me, like, what all fields should we should take, or we should have in our app when we say that we want to record a event in our app. So basically consider it something like, if you know the how things like Zomato or Book My Show work, right? There is a separate organizer page where people go and put their events, which again are visible to you. So we need to take a few details from those organizers who will come to our app and put our events on our marketplace where other people will come and register for it. So yes, we have venue, time, programming. I'll share my LinkedIn in the last session, or you can just go and go on LinkedIn and search Prasad Sawant. Let's upgrade, and you will come across that. Client API. We are not going into that into API description, user detail. User detail. See, focus on events only. One event. Focus on one event. Do not go here and there. So first of all, if you do not know, right, there is one thing that is required is the ID. The first thing that is required while creating any of the stuff is an ID, right? So we will need an ID which is unique, and that is going to be our primary key. That is going to be our primary key, right? So primary cannot be repeated, it cannot be null. There are two database this is rules, right? Primary key has to be unique and it cannot be null, right? And then we have the event name. What all things you said? Description, right? I saw a few things, seating, vacant, place, price, description about the event. Client API session, I do not know what you're saying, Galantrix. Please go and like type again. Of course, after this event name, we have event name, and after that, we will need start date, right? When is the event going to start? End date, right? If it's a big of a event, we need that thing as well, right? And what is the event type? Again, see, what all things can you do in Appsheet? I'll tell you how to create drop downs. Like you can just imagine if you had to create a drop down in JavaScript, native JavaScript, and how we'll do it here. And we have capacity. What else is in the chat? Username and everything that will come inside. You can say basically later when you go into users. There is again, okay, a few people, you guys are still stuck on the, you're not able to get the what. See, there is a link in the description, sorry, in the chat. Let me just copy paste it again. So just go and click on this link, guys. You should be able to have your notes, and please save it somewhere so you can basically check it again and again. So event name, event type, right? And end date, start date, and basically where you are having that event, city, state. And if you have and multiple like some events like which happen across the globe or something, if you're planning to do that, let's have country as well, right? And then we will have something called as venue. Now look here, what we are going to do is, now this is something for a reference that we are creating, right? Now this venue, how should venue look like? Venue should be city, comma, state, comma, country. So basically we are going to take you the three details from user, city, state, country, and the venue field will be auto populated, and how this is how it is going to represent, right? So again, we have to ensure that this is something that we are going to auto calculate. So I'm just going to put it in green for our reference, right? And again, if there is, of course, we need time. Start time comes here, end time comes here. What else? What else? I saw a few people saying description. So description would come here, and of course we need a cover pic, right? So what, a thumbnail for your event, right? As I mentioned here, where was this? So if I go here back, right, there is a event thumbnail. So let's see this, right? We have to replicate this. There's a thumbnail, right? If you go on FIFA World Cup, you have a video, event name, event type, description, capacity, vacant seats, it's there, end time, venue. If you see, right, how it has come, New York, United States. So that is how we want it to come. And then we have similar Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. This is how we will show it. Again, this will be automatically calculated, basically concatenated, right? And let's go back. And again, we'll at the last we have the trailer video. So I'll see if you can find out how to do that. It's quite tricky, but it's easy once you find out and how to do that. Anything else that we have missed out? I just want to see. That's why I'm okay. There's something that trying to say from session from start and end date. Okay, how many people are going to attend? Yeah. So we have, right, capacities there, and that is one more thing that we wanted to add is vacant seats. Again, this is something that we will auto calculate based on a formula. Again, this we will do in the end. So how this will be calculated is a capacity we will put in as many registrations that start coming in into that event and are approved by the organizer. The capacity, the vacant seats are automatically, deducted by 111 as an like a decremental phase, right? Conducted by, yeah, conducted by, right? So we need an organizer ID. We need an organizer ID for this, right? So now a very important thing, right, that we missed out is an organizer ID. Okay. Now understand one thing, we cannot see when you are dealing with databases, right? You cannot query names where you have spaces, emails and everything. You need something unique that you can match, something unique that you can as a you can use for a reference. And if you guys have been using Excel, we have something called as lookup, right? Again, for Appsheet, if you're dealing with a database, right, if the Appsheet gives you multiple database, you can use an SQL, you can use Airtable, you can use anything for that matter, right? But since we are going to use Google Sheets, you should be knowing some basic Google Sheet formulas, some concatenate, lookup formulas, right, select formulas, filter formulas. And if not, I'll try to teach you that as well based on the times that we have. So majority of the heavy pulling is going to be tomorrow. Today is basically getting you started and to customize the app and basically have a few things running, right? And tomorrow onwards we'll start customizing the app, building automations, putting authorizations. So basically tomorrow is going to be the major tweaks that we'll do in the app. Now this is basically done. And again, organizer ID, is this done, right? uh Praveen, I don't know what thing per notes link. Guys, can anybody, can, okay, just I'm going to ask one help from the attendees here. I'm sharing I'm sharing the link here once, right? I am sharing the link here once. Guys, I need your help, whoever is in the chat, right? If somebody comes and asks for the notes, please share this link to them, right? And please help me with that, right? If you guys are there. Price details, again, that I leave to you. I don't want to put a lot of keys. You can of course use price, but again, we are not putting any paywall here, so we do not, we are keeping it totally free. Just since it's an example, right? You don't want to take payments here. Now the once this is done, right, once this is done, what we need to do is, Praveen, try to, maybe, do some maybe try it incognito. There might be some cache issue on the browser, maybe, most probably. Now once we're done with the events, right, let's keep this aside and let's have an organizer. Since we have started organizer, since we are taking organizer ID, we need to have everything to link this organizer ID, right? Now we will start creating another table, right? Now this is going to be separate sheets, organizers. Now what all things are going to go in the organizers is basically this organizer ID that we are referencing here. So how many of you guys do not know the concept of primary keys and foreign keys? Let me know in the chat real quick so I can spend a couple of minutes explaining you that. Then we need organizer's name, so I'm just going to keep it name. And we need email and maybe phone number, and basically a profile pic for the organizer. And then again, see, when you're organizing events, right, you would love to know that what all events are here, like which, when you say, right, my events, all the events that I have organized, I should be having a view. So I'm going to give this part, like this symbol, that means that I have to create this view which will show that it is a my events kind of thing. I hope this is clear. Sorry. Socials and everything, of course, see, I'm yeah, you can of course put socials and everything, but since I'm going to create this app and there are going to be some required fields, that is why I'm taking less. But again, this is going to be the organizers part. So of course, as an organizer, you can add anything, your socials and everything for that matter. And if you want to do that, you can do that as well, right? So you can basically start taking Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram if you want. For that as well, you can take it. So this is going to be one thing. Now come back to the database. Now very important thing, right? We need to somehow link this field to this field here in events. Now there is one concept again. See, here the primary key is going to be an organizer ID. Now one thing that thing is important, right? There can be only one primary key in one table. I cannot go and mark this as primary key. I cannot do this. This is wrong from as per database conventions, right? You cannot have two primary keys in a single database. So, but again, how do I reference these? Now, since it's a primary key here, see, one primary key can have a foreign key which relates those. Like it's basically right. You basically reference this thing, right? An organizer ID in the organizer table, which is a primary key, can be a foreign key, and since it's in the another table, it's called a foreign key. So we'll just change the name here for our understanding. It is going to be organizer.organizer id. Still we will name the name that we will give this is organizer id, but since for our referencing, since we are creating this is going to be a foreign key. So basically this organizer id and organizer id in organizers is going to get linked. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? Is this clear? Just let me know in the quick chat that if this is clear. If you guys have understood this much, what you have done till now, and we have basically created two databases, two tables as of now, and we have understood primary key and foreign key. And this is important because when we create the app and when we'll do referencing, this thing is going to come in a lot of use, right? Now we are done with organizers, we are done with events. Now what other things are remaining, right? A very important thing is the registration. A very important thing is the registration. Okay, so I see chat bit active. That's great, thank you for that. Thank you for taking care of the doubts as well, guys. I appreciate it. And please help other students so that I can focus here. I have to check your doubts here and there in between. Great. Thank you. Now the another next table that we would like to create is registrations, basically where all the registrations would fall in, right? Again, the first is going to be always an ID for registration, right? Now, if there are 1,000 or 10,000 registrations, every registration should have a unique ID. So that is where it will be registrations ID, right? Or registration ID. Let's keep it singular, registration ID, and this is going to be the primary key for this table. Now, what all thing are going to be here? Now, again, see, as I mentioned, when I look up or when you guys also look up databases, you will not look up with names that have spaces, because if you take my name, Raj Prasad Sawan, there might be 100 people with same name in your database. There might be. You cannot do a unique lookup. For that unique lookup, you have to always work with IDs. So that is where whenever our database is going to be created, when the app will start putting data in our sheets, right? Because we are going to put data using app only, right? So that app will create references with that IDs only, a unique ID that will generate, right? And now we should have an event ID, right? So if one registration, like if I am registering for an event, like in action here, right? If where is that app? If I go here and I register for this event, it should basically, this is basically a registration, right? It should basically tell which event I have registered. If you see, right, we are registered taking a ID, and this is the ID that, again, see, even if I've taken an ID, I can still pull the name of the event, right? That is where we have taken help of referencing. And again, we have status, we have registered and approved that. Let's build that real quick in our database. So we have event ID. Again, the user who is registering for the event, we have a user ID. Basically, if I am registering, right, since again, we will have to create one more table that will come back here, a users table, right? And we have a status. Now status is going to have a drop down status or a buttons, like 3 buttons. That is going to be a wait list, an approved status, and a rejected or a not approved, right? Wait list, approved and not approved, this is going to be the status. So if you guys have seen Luma and everything, that is something you can see. I don't believe Kanan no code can handle yeah, depends on what software you are using. There might be softwares available. I'm not denying that fact. You'll have to still check. Okay, now after this, We need to also ensure what time the user has registered. So registered at, this is being going to be a timestamp, and basically approve that, because we need to send an email, right? Once a registered is once a user has registered for that event, and once a user has you can basically see clicked on approval mail, when he gets, right, he should also be notified. Okay, so that is one thing. Now again, let's basically get done with the last table as well, that is our, it's not code safe when it comes to security. Kanan, it depends. See, if since I have used Appsheet a lot, like I've been using it from past 3 years to build multiple applications, and yes, it does provide a lot of security depending on what tier or what pricing you are. It has user authentication with Google, so nobody else can access your apps. You can set internal verifications and authorizations where you can do multiple checks before people getting into a database. You can keep all of the database source secure, so that people can only access the app. So it depends on what type of use you can using. Again, if you're a owner, you should have, like, if you're using creating the app, you should have the owner access of the sheet. Just ensure that. And apart from that, it should not have an issue. Just a minute. Okay, so now let's go into the next table called as users. And we will, again, this is not the only tables. Of course, we will create more tables as and when we go forward, right? And I'll give you homework where you'll have to fill the tables. I'll tell you how you have to fill the tables. That is the main task to do, right? Fill the tables. And I'll also provide a template. If not, tomorrow I'll give the template, so you can directly copy paste and start working, and so that your app looks exactly like mine, right? Or else if you have to put your own data, you can do that as well. So one, yeah, well, we'll see how AppSheet looks like, so that if you guys are on the free tier, you might get some problems, and I'll show you how to navigate to that as well. Let me just close this open tab, it's taking my attention. Yes, so now that we have users, again, what all things do we need in users? Yes, programming, it does work like an user a web app as well also. So it basically have a link. It comes as a mobile app as well. So as always, we will have a user ID. User ID, and this is going to be a primary key, right? And again, we have all the basic details of a user. Now user is basically the attendee, right? So name, email, mobile. Okay, what name did I use at the top in the organizers? Mobile. So I'll use mobile only. So let's see, do one thing, always try to keep the name same, so it becomes easy for you also to refer, or basically, when you are doing, you can say referencing, it becomes easy. So try to keep the name same as much as possible. Not an issue if you do not, but yeah. So you can take date of birth, you can take city, again state. It's totally up to you. Now why we are taking this is because we can show, like, if a user does some, like, where he has to say events around me, so we can show them, we can show him, like, there is what all events are around his city, right? Or maybe say his state, or something of that sort. We'll see how. I've also not figured out right now. We will This is something I've added, so we'll figure it out on the way how to come to that. If we get stuck, we will solve it together, right? And then again, all the events that I'm registered to. Similarly, if as an organizer, I should know that the events I've organized. As a user, I should know what all events I have got approvals for, or as a user, what all events, like it's a history, right? In Amazon, you have order history. In Book My Show, you have ticket history. Similarly, here again, there is going to be a my events. Basically, it will have all the events that I have been to, right? Now one thing, right, if you see, right, we have a primary key. Again, this primary key needs to be used somewhere, right? We need to refer. And if you just saw, right, we did create a user ID right here. We did create a user ID right here, and that is where we need to link this primary key. So this will become our users dot user ID, and this is going to be our foreign key. I hope you guys are following. And similarly, event ID will have to be again referred to this events part, where we did mention that this is going to be now become an event ID, and this is going to be a primary key, and that is referred here registration. So this will become a foreign key, and this will now become events dot events id. Now if you see, right, a registration sheet or registrations table is only going to have an ids, going to have an ids. And this is also one way, right, where you can secure your application by just working with ids, where you can just reference them with ids or a key, and then you do a lookup there, then you do queries in the database and get the output when you need it. So that if some way some person gets access to this table by some hacks or anything, right, still they are, what they are getting in the end is just some ids, and they are not getting the actual data, right? We need not put user email here and everything to here to get an registration, right? We can just get an id, and when we want to verify, we will query this user id in the users table and see the name, email, mobile, what we want to see. I hope this is clear. I'm just checking chat. Id, hashed password, don't know how to work on Appsheet. HP, do not worry, I'll tell you of how that works. Events attended, yeah, events attended, that is something. mm, Praveen, what do you want me to address? You said update the notes, sir. It is updated. See, as soon as I save here, right, as soon as I save here, and if I go and check the link that is there in your chat here, if I go and check here, this notes, if you go in this project section, right, this is where we are building this project. And if you go and see here, if you go in users, everything is actually there, everything is actually updated. Mohan, you, everyone who is attending this session will get a certificate, so do not worry about that. Everyone who is attending this session will get a certificate. So by the way, right, till now, are you guys enjoying this or are you getting bored? A quick feedback. Let me just raise a poll. Let me just raise a poll. Yes, you can download the certificates. Okay, I've just raised a poll. Meanwhile, right, you can just go and click there. See, I'm be very frank. It might seem a little bit boring because that is how development works, and all the people who think that development, when you do development to directly start coding, it's completely wrong. If you are developing, the first a few hours are spent in deciding of how your database would look like, how your page would look like, what colors, what themes, what fonts, how the process will go, and then that's where you start coding. And that is similarly what we are following here, or proper development cycle, what developers do in the market. We are based first figuring out of what things we want to build, so that once we start building, we do not get confused, and this becomes our reference point. So now we have a four database that we have here. Anything that you guys have not understood, I'm just taking a 5 minutes break. I'm here only, but I'll just have some water. Meanwhile, I'm just looking in a chart. Anything that you have not understood? Yes, the session would be there after the channel, after the live ends. And one thing that I request for everyone to do is, right, after this session, we'd love to have your feedback on Instagram. If you can put a story about the session and tag Let's Upgrade, if you can put it on LinkedIn and tag Let's Upgrade, and if you can do it on Twitter and tag Let's Upgrade that you are doing this session. And for all the session, it actually helps us to get more people to join us, and so that we can reach more and more people. That's the only help that we ask from you guys, right? Yes, you can add a certificate in your LinkedIn's as well. Okay, now that's quite a feedback I have. Okay, there are no feedbacks. There is a no feedback. Okay, that's fine. That's completely, I take it as positive only. No worries. Ticket QR code will be in which table? Now, good question. Ticket QR code will be in which table? See, ticket QR code will come here. Okay, ticket QR code is going to become here. Good question. Now, again, there is one thing that we again missed. There is one thing that we again missed, right? That is, now pay attention here, right? Once the user is in waitlist, And so the timing comes in registered at. Once the user is approved, the timing comes in approved at. Now we need to have a QR code that we need to send. I will, okay, so one of the homework that you guys have, find out how to create QR code in Excel. Find out how to create QR code in Excel. What is the formula to create a dynamic QR code which is separate? Now one thing that we will do is, we need, see, I'll tell you how QR codes work. When you scan a QR code, there is a text behind it, right? That text is basically checked. Basically that's a ticket ID, that is a unique ticket ID, and that is what we will create. We will create a unique ticket ID. We will create a unique ticket ID that is unique to the user. I hope that is clear. We will create a unique ticket ID that is unique to a user, and it will be always unique to the user. And for that, we will have one table. Thank you for that thing. I actually missed out on that. Again, we would have just come across it while we were developing the app, but it's good that you pointed it out. We will have a confirmation ID. So basically confirmation ID will be converted into a QR, and it will be put in your ticket, and we will send it to you on an email that please carry this ticket, or please carry this PDF while you're attending the event, so that our volunteers can scan it at the entrance. And that QR, once scanned, will have this confirmation ID, and it will go and check the registrations table and marked it as checked in. So you will have that one thing as well. So again, that also let us tells that we need to have a column called as checked in. Again, QR code we will generate on the go. So I'm just going to put this green, because we cannot store an image in the row, right, in a database. Again, this will not be visible in the app. Basically the confirmation ID will be shown as a QR code in your application, right? So now how do we create the confirmation ID? The confirmation ID is going to be a mix of registration ID plus events ID plus the user ID. I hope you are getting what we are doing. I hope everyone is clear what we are doing. Archit, just go and see the description once. There is a link to join, or you can just come to this notes. You have been asking this again and again, so I'm just come to this notes page. There is a link here. Just go and open it. There will be a Google form. Once you click this link, it will take you to the website. Just scroll down. You have since I am already I am already enrolled as a student ambassador to show you guys, but you will have an apply now button here. So click on apply now. It will take you to Google form. Fill that form, and maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow you will get a confirmation message, and there are a few groups to join. Everything will be confirmed on email to you. Just do that process. I hope your query is now solved. Okay, now let's get back right here. Now that we have this, okay, where was I? We were into something called as confirmation ID, right? And now confirmation ID will be turned into a QR code, and checked in at, sorry, checked in will be again a boolean. This will be true false. So we will just do, so that we don't start putting text inside this will be boolean. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Can we download the notes? Yes, I don't think you need to download it. It's Notion, so you can basically have it. It's better to keep it live so that I can make the changes, right? If you download it, even if I make some changes on improvements, you won't be able to have it. So it's better to keep it online. It's basically it opens on your app as well. Just registering ambassador program, but I don't have a college ID card from the college yet. How to register? Good question, but try to put any ID that you have and we'll see. Please clear it out in previous text. Archit, I hope I've cleared your doubt. You can apply. You can apply. Praveen, what is your query? Guys, I'll don't worry. All the people who are having a problem with the student ambassador part, please stay till the end. I'll answer that separate part towards the end. Okay, so that we are not breaking the flow again and again. Just hold your doubts till the end, and I'll answer that before I go from here. Okay, so we are already what? Wow, time passed so fast. We are already 7:30. I'm not able to say time. 7:36. Wow. Yeah, we still have 45 minutes, 45, 50 minutes more, so we can see. Yeah. Okay, so I hope anything else that I don't think anything else is remaining on this part. Anything else that you think is pending that we should include? Now let's start. Let's visit the app sheet, right? So for which we are doing this session, right? Since we are doing this with app sheet, let's go and see how app sheet looks like. So how do you access app sheet, right? First of all, you need to go and search for app sheet, and the website is appsheet.com. I'll also put that in the page somewhere here, right? And you can basically go and open it or sign in, sign up, use a Google account preferred. Since I'm already signed up, it will take me here, right? So these are the basically a lot of, I just keep on trying. So there are a lot of apps that we keep on creating here and there. Let's understand the things first, right? So you have the pricing and everything right here. If I have to just go to app sheet again, I'll just sign out to show you the things. This is the app sheet, right? This is a product by Google. You can just come and see what all things it has, what all features it has. This is the pricing. If you want to explore, you can explore the pricing right here as well, right? Of all the things that are available. Uh, since its starter is 5 USD, but yeah, a few things are available free as well, right? So we'll try to see what all things work on free and accordingly use that. But if you can check, use this, please use this. If you're working for some company, you can get some credits or something. Student plan is available. You can check that with AppSheet, right? So we are going to sign in. I'm going to use my Google account. And we are going to do allow. Once in I'm in the app sheet, right? And I'll be having a lot of apps that, since for you it is going to be plain, for you it is going to be nothing. And it for recents again, it will be nothing. Owned by me, something apps you create. Shared with me is the apps that you have shared with you. And again, you have a template. So once you go in templates, there are some sample templates that have been created, okay, that has been created after by other people, and you can basically see on how this looks. So if I have to see, right, occupancy tracker, let's take this, and this it will basically give me a view of how the app looks. Yeah, this is how it looks. You can see a tablet and mode. You can see data of how the data is structured. This is the table. So this is the AppSheet database, and this is the relation, the how things work, one to many relationships, one to one relationships. You can see, right, we have not programmed all of this, right? And of course we're not going to do that, and that is how the apps turn out, right? You can create this form and everything. These are the few locations, a geolocation. See, it is asking my map, and this everything is we can be done. And we'll try to do this as well, right? We'll try to pin some points here and there. And if you want to see how this app was built, you can basically go and see what's inside. Again, don't get overwhelmed by this whole UI that is there. I'll explain you each and every part of how things look like, right? And what does what, and how, where to go if you get stuck. Everything I'll explain in a bit. This is just to show you the overview of app sheet, right? And this is the backend that I said, right, where you will be connecting things, building stuff. This is the front end, right, the view. If you see, right, and of course you can open this in a web page as well, like I showed you in the demo, right? The app that you will be building. And this is again, this works for a web, this works for an app, this works for a tablet. You can see how things look in different parts, right? So now just you're going to start. And now there are two ways how you can create an app sheet, right? First is of course to go and create from here or a database. This is the things that how it works. Mm-mm. Let me just see. I see a few things changed in my app. Let me just check. Do, 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 do. Okay. I'm on the core plan. That's great. But yeah, if I go and create, right, it will tell me it. See, I can go and create an app from here. I can go and create from some existing data, or start with a template, or start with a blank app, or I can have a new database or import from sheets. Now again, this is one way, but we are going to use another way for this. And for that, what I'm going to do is, I did have so I'll just go back and delete all. I just I hope, which is this, this is my previous one. So what I'll do is just go to the drive that I have. Mm, I'll create a folder for you guys, new folder, which is essentials. Then we have something called as no code. And there, here we have our project, right? Here we have a project, book your show. Now, this is where I said, right, we will start managing our project. Now, inside book your show, right, here is where I need a sheet. Here is where I need a sheet, because this is going to be the base of my project. And so I'm going to create a sheet here. And now whatever we wrote on the Notion doc, right, we are going to replicate this. Now again, my app name is something. Now my app name, I'm going to create, say, book your show. Uh, let's keep it something event. Book my event. Anything. If you can tell me, if you can come up with good names, do let me know. If you can come up with good names, do let me know. Okay. So I can change it later. I'm bad at suggesting names for applications, and of course variables. All developers get stuck there. So we're equally bad at variable names and names for the app. Yeah, I'm seeing the chat. You can suggest me. Show spot is one name. Okay, so I'm going to put this, if unless a good name comes up, so that we can replace that here. Guys, keep your doubts till the end, right? So now let's go to the Notion doc and see what all things we created. Okay, so first database that we need is an events database. mm, why did I create this? Is a event database. Let me keep this side. This is going to be a events table, sorry, not database, my bad. And then what we need to do is basically have this things here. So let's just copy this here. Hmm. Okay, so we have this tables. We have event id, event name, organizer dot organizer id. So we'll remove the extra parts that we created. Event type, capacity, vacant seat, start date, start time, end date, end time, city, state, country, venue. This is just for reference. We'll again create that automatically. Description, cover, pic, and a trailer video. So one table is done. Similarly, what we'll do is add another table. Mm, other was organizers. So I'll just quickly go. I'll just going to quickly do that, because I know now you know what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just putting this in the sheets. So I don't think I need to show it every time I'm doing it. Again, this is, I'm not going to copy the last part, because it is not a database, can say a row, a column name, right? That is basically just a, that is basically just a view that we want to ensure that is there, right? So that is this is going to be for organizers, and I'm just going to remove the extra parts again from here. Name, email, profile pic. right? And now the next thing that we are going to do is let's go back to the Notion, and we have registrations again. We come back here. Okay, there was a problem. Registrations. Let's go back and create this table real quick. And as I mentioned, if you guys know, we will not have a column for QR code because that is something we will generate on the go. So please remind me, okay, when we are doing this, because I'll keep QR code at the end because it did work with one of the APIs. I'm just, and it's now breaking. So if you can find a new API, I will figure it out together, of course. It, and we will do that. It's quite easy. Just we need to put the data in that API, and we should get a QR code as a return value. This is going to be status. I should approve at confirmation ID. This again I'm going to remove. QR code we don't need, and a checked in boolean part is also something I'm going to remove. Okay, I did not see if you guys were not able to see or not. Don't worry, I'll give you the Google Drive link as well if you guys want. Okay, let me do that as well for you. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, I'll share. I'll do the share. Ta- 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 ta. Anyone with the link can view. Yes, I'll put this link in the Notion document again, right at the start, where we are having this AppSheet link. Just below that I'm putting, right, Drive link, so you can follow of what we are doing. So this is a Drive link, right? You can go and access the same things, or it will be there for your reference. Okay, now I think we are good to go. So we are done with this thing, and next table that we have is a users table. So let's go and quickly copy the users part. Wow, my laptop is on low battery, but I guess that should suffice till the end of this session. And then we have users again. We'll just quickly go and paste it here. If you guys have started just using Google Sheets, it's a wonderful tool. You can just go and explore wonderful sheets basically, right? And makes things quite easier for you as well. And so I build all the apps on Google Sheet only, so we can do a lot of things. Then basically you can, what you can do is just a quick thing, right? When you start working with things, right, and if you create a data app, what you can do is for analytics, what app, see, once you have an app, right, where all the users are interacting with the app and data, since it comes to sheets, you can connect that sheet to Looker Studio, which is again an product by Google, where you can have all the charts, all the dashboards and everything. So it's like a real-time database, a real-time dashboard, charts and metrics that come into your, like, as soon as there is some activity, some orders placed, right, and you have a dashboard open every time, so it comes there. Like, there are, if you are planning to build, see, we'll connect after this. If you guys have any idea and you need help with any of the apps that you would want to build, I'll personally connect with you later so that I can guide you and help you build those apps. If you have some small businesses, some e-commerce app that you want to build, some order tracking apps that you want to build, we'll surely, as Let's Upgrade, at Let's Upgrade, will help you build that as well, so you can publish it out, right? So for all of these things, uh, what you can do is you can create a dashboard metrics with Looker Studio. So it's like your application, the data goes into Google Sheets, and with Looker Studio, you can have a real time dashboard, a TV like kind of thing where everything is automated, right? So now coming back to the application. Yeah. So now pretty much it. We have our database ready. I think now see, one way if I showed how to create an app is right from here, right? So we are not going to go with this. Instead, we'll come to Google Sheet. I don't. Cinefest is one. We're not just limited to Cinefest. We are not just limited to Cinefest. We have some other things as well, right? So you can really go and just give me some other names quickly. Just give me some other names. Now see, one thing that we do is one thing we should do is I'm just going to go to events, any stay on any of the sheets that you would want to create there. Go on to extensions, you will have an app sheet like here, right? App sheet like here, create an app, and that's it. And just wait and let that app build. Just let that app build. Praveen, just give me a minute, I'll share my LinkedIn, don't worry. So this is the LinkedIn ID. If you guys want to connect with me, you can connect. So while if you're pinging me, just let me know that you are from the essentials program, so I can help you in a better way. Okay, I think we're done with the poll. I can just stop it. Yeah. This is, if you have missed out, this is there. You can connect later. Right now, let's go back here. Now, see, once you have created this show spot, right? Now what all things can we do? Now let's understand this. Now let's understand the whole thing that is available. Now this is like the dashboard, this is like the home page for your things. You will see next stage, what all steps it says, apply a theme and everything. And this is the actual app that is going to be loaded on your mobile, right? Actual app that is going to be loaded on your mobile. Now to view it on your mobile, what you can do is, all right, first of all, you have to go to Play Store and download an app called as Appsheet, right? The similar name application is also available on Appsheet. And basically, if you go and log in with the same email ID that you have created an app here, that app would appear in my apps, right? And for users, when you share, you can share it with a link. I'll show you how to do that so that they can install it in the app in their mobile. And there are a few video tutorials which you can see. Again, there's a whole community that is very active. You can join that community from here. Uh, Basically, and ask your queries to all the developers and all the people who are building on Appsheet, some amazing things. You can basically go and check this out, right? Now the next thing, first thing, as I mentioned, is to understanding what is here. This is data, this is view, and this is actions, automation, chat apps will leave for now, and security settings. That is the only thing you need to worry about right now, right? And again, as I mentioned, this is the view of how your app looks like, right? This is a plain blank app, nothing is there. But if you see, right, there is some name that has come forward, events. And if you basically go and click on plus, you will see that it comes with a form, and surprisingly it has all the fields that we had in our app. Surprisingly, it automatically created a form to fill for the user to create this app, right? Right, this is something which it automatically did. And how did it work out is, basically when we selected the sheet and said, "Key boss, go and create an app for me," it basically did this. Now let's go and see the data. Let's go and see the data of how. Now see, this has been added as a table. Now, as I told, right, if you go and see here, the table name is sheet. The table name is that's the sheet. Sorry, the sheet name is the table name, events sheet that we have. Now it's a table name, right? Clear? This much clear. Now if you see, right, AppSheet is very intelligent, and it automatically understood what type of data type do you have in all of these things, and it has automatically allocated that. I hope you know data types, number, text, and everything. So how many type of data types do you know? Let me know in the chat real quick. Spam the chat with all the data types do you which you know. Smaller data, small sorry, spam, sorry for that fumble. Spam all the data types that you know. Spam all the data types that you know quickly. Let's see how many of those are existing in AppSheet. I'll just have a sip of water meanwhile. Okay, we have string from Praveen. Okay, integer, boolean, float, long. Programming just summarized of whatever was fun. Array, short, float, double float. Wow. Pointer, reminds me of C. Byte enum. Okay, enum. Yes, enum is something that we are going to see. Linked list tree, graph, cat, dictionary. Okay, you guys can keep on texting. I'll just start now. If now see what is available here, right? These are the number of data types that are available. These are the number of data types that are available in Appsheet. You have address, you have app, you have change counter, change time stamp, change location, color, date, timestamp, date, time, decimal, drawing, duration, email, xyz, blah 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 blah, till yes, no, xy, signature, show, ref, progress. All of these data types you can use. All of these data types you can use as you want, right? Now, now let's fix a few of those. Event id is going to be text. Let's keep it text. We don't want it to be a number. We can basically mix match, right? So it is going to be a unique id that is going to be there. And since it's key, you saw, right? Since it's marked as primary key automatically, it is automatically said that there is going to be a unique id automatically added to this particular field, right? So these are the formulas of how you can put. These are the there is that is the formula bar where you can put the formulas in while we are creating this app. Now let's come. We have event name, organizer id. Again, organizer id is going to be text, right? And this is something that we are going to take as a reference. Okay, this is something that we are going to take as a reference. So we did not do here anything. We are going to basically do a lookup. So just make a note of this, that organizer id is going to come lookup, and this is something we'll see tomorrow when we see working with advanced formulas in this app. Event type, as I mentioned, is going to be a enumeration, enumeration basically means that, now see, there are two parts, enum and enum list. Enum list is basically where you can have multiple options, select multiple option. Enum is basically where you can have just one option. And when you're doing this kind of thing, right? Floating point, what is the name number? So what is the question again? Now see, since we are doing enum, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on event type. Okay, now the type is enum. And the values, what values should I have? Now what type of event can one organizer do, or when he's creating an event, right? So for that I'm going to put a concert. Concert can be one thing, a college fest can be one thing which you would like to go, a party would be one thing. Now it can be anything, right? It can be a sports event, and it can be, if you, again, we have developers around, so it can be hackathons. And you feel free to select any one of those, you can keep on adding. Again, see, you have an option to let user decide, right, of what to do. But again, we are not going to enable that. Okay, we're not going to enable that for that matter. And again, I'll tell you how things differ. Now let's, for now, right, for now what we're going to do is just put, we're not going to do anything. I'll show you the changes of how things work. Let me just go and show you the view now. Now when you see, right, events, if you see, right, it is just showing this thing, and once I select, it will just selected. Now let's go and do some changes in that enum type. So I tell you how, I'll to give you an idea how that works. As soon as I give an option to add other values, this thing will have a thing here, and whatever I type, right, I can basically create one more thing. This is something that we want to avoid, because we don't want users and if you see, right, it is automatically creating those fields, search bar with a proper format and everything, and a search query as well, right? If I do a concert, it will also show me a concert and tell me if I want to create a new thing. Now this all things are taken care by Appsheet. You as a developer do not have to code. That is the beauty of the no code, right? It intelligently understands what you're trying to do and creates that things behind the hood. Okay, but again, we do not want to do that, so I'm going to disable that. I hope you know, now get what we are trying to do. Now see, you can fix the way you things want it to be. Now by default, if you click on auto, and if you have just two of these things, it will show you as a button. If you have a stack, let's see what how it looks like. So if you have a stack, it will look by default like this. Again, it does not look very pleasing to the eyes. You can make it as buttons, and it will switch it as buttons. Again, this is something not good as well from the UI perspective. So for that reason, what I will do is I'll set it to drop down so that it is proper drop down. I hope this much is clear. This much is clear what we did with the enum. I hope this much is clear. Let me know if this much is understood very quickly, guys. Right now, let's see again. We have to come back and do all of this thing, require when we are creating the app, right? So all of these fields are going to be required only. So there is no things that are going to be not required. So let's do that. Right, I hope this much is clear. Till the trailer video part we have done required. Everything is required, just we have kept the row number because that is something not we are not worried about, right? Now one thing if you see, right, one thing if you see is basically, we just, I hope, let's just let me know if this view is clearly visible to you. I just zoomed out a little bit. If you guys on the YouTube can see this. See, then we have date, start date, that is date. Then we have start time, that is time, right? Then city is going to be text. This is going to be text. This is going to be text. Now venue, right? Again, we made one mistake, guys. You know what we did? Uh, this thing, right? This thing basically messed up the database. Now see, one thing that you need to understand is any changes if you make in sheet, right, your app will break. Now if I just save this, if I remove or add any this will not break most probably, but if I add or remove any column, right, suppose for example I add one of the column demo here in the app and I just go and refresh the app, let's see what happens. Okay, not this, not regenerate. I am going on the view part, show in preview, and I'm going to refresh the app. Okay, no, I'm just, if I delete anything, let's try deleting. It happens. I don't know if they have improved it, if it's great if they have improved it, but it does break. Wow, does not break. Let's try changing a few things and save this. Now let's see if it breaks. Maybe there is no data, that is the reason it is not breaking. But yeah, we will try this again. Okay, we will try this again. We'll come back and try this again, and it'll break because we just changed a few things in the sheet, right? For now, let's keep things as it was. So maybe since there's no data, it is not breaking. But yeah, now clear. Yes, Archit, it is completely fine. Yes, I have saved in Excel, so that is where I did save in Excel. Excel automatically saves. This automatically saves, so there is not an issue with this, right? Now, one thing, right? One thing that you need to do is, one thing we need to do is here. If you see, right, uh, when a venue is created, when an event is created, right, start date is by default going to be the current date. The start time is going to be the current time. If you click on this, right, you will see this 35 and the current time. This is by default there for people to change it later. Is this much clear? It depends on you if you want to show this or not. If you remove this, it will not show. If you remove this, it will not show. So for now, I'm not changing it anything. I'm just keeping it like it is, right? Now, one thing that I wanted to tell, right, when we were doing this, now again, since see, I changed a few things in this, right, in the venue part in the events. Let's go and regenerate. Regenerate basically does, sorry, a query on the Excel and gets all the detailed and basically the names and everything. Now it's gone, right? Now it's gone. Again, venue is not see, venue is not required. because we did not set it to be required, I suppose. Yeah, we did not set it to be required. That is one thing. But one thing that we wanted to do, right, one thing that we wanted to do is this should not be editable. This one thing should not be editable. And before we end, right, before we end, I'll tell you what all things we are going to cover, so you guys know. We are just going to add a few more tables. We are going to change the UI of how the app looks. I'm going to pre-fill the database with the sheet data that I have, so that the app fills everything that is there. And your homework is basically going to, I'll tell you how it works, and then I'll dump the data that I have. I'll give you access to that sheet today also. Okay, I'll give you that access today also, right? I'll update that sheet right as well. Of course, you have the sheet. I'll give you copy access so that you can copy the exact sheet and follow along tomorrow's lecture. We will set a theme for the app. We will set a logo for the app. We will add other tables to this applications. We'll set a few things. And of course, I'll show you the structure of how you can, when you upload a file, it goes to a random place, and how to fix that so that it falls into proper folder structure. Yeah, that your cover pics go into a cover pic folder, your banner goes into a proper banner folder, your videos go into proper videos folder. So we'll understand how to dynamically set the folder structures as well in Appsheet, right? So that is where we will try to end, and that is, I guess, what was in our agenda. If you just see here, right, that is going to be the agenda for this. And tomorrow is going to be all the major weightlifting that we are going to do, right? So 8:30 is our limit. Just let me know by 8:20. Okay. Now see, when you write, as I mentioned, what we want to do is it has to be automatically, see, now there are few fields, right? Formula, if you want to calculate that value by a formula. Now, and then you have initial value. Now these two are very important and also very different things. If you have a formula, the value from the sheets will not work. If you have a formula, that field has to be a read only. So see what happens. Okay, see what happens if I take this from here. If I take this formula from here, okay, let me just uh okay, I'm just copying it, and if I paste it here, now see what happens. Let's save this. If you see, right, the app, this became a read only. This became a read only part, because you cannot have an initial value and a formula driven value at the same time. Formula means the app will calculate by itself, and initial means that this is the placeholder. If you guys have developed or no, that's a placeholder, like that is going to be the initial value, but of course you can change it if you want to. That is the only difference. So in our case, we do not need this to be prefixed. We want the user to have the option to change it, and that is where we are keeping this. Now let's fix the value. Let's fix the venue thing now. For that, so where I stay, right, I'll do Kharghar. State is Maharashtra and country is India. Now I'm going to concatenate this all 3 years, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that row here, and that is going to be a text value, of course, right? That is going to be a text value, and we want to calculate by, we can do it by a formula calculation so that it becomes a read only thing, right? So what we'll do is, see, if you can explore the formulas here. There is one formula that matches what you want, is concatenate, and see how easy it is. Now just observe. I'm just want to do is insert. What all things do we need to concatenate? I go to the data explorer. I go to the data explorer, and it will show me the tables. Currently I just have one table. So in that case, it is going to be city, comma, we need a comma and space, right? So this is what we want. We need a comma and space. So that is something that we need. So we have to make sure that is there. Now we give another comma. We give state here, and again a comma and space. Now there are multiple ways to do this. This is one of the easiest way that I can show you right now. And then we put country. Now this is the normal concatenate formula that we use, right, in Excel. So that is what is right available here. And then just we hit save. And now the value, now basically the field is gone, right? The venue field is gone. It is not it has not disappeared. Okay, let's try to find that field. Let's try to find that field. Okay, it's here, but it is not readable. Now if I put Khargar, you see, right, it is automatically updating. It is real time updating. If I put Maharashtra and I put India. Okay, did I mess up with the formula? Yes, I did mess up with the formula. This should be state. I hope this is clear. I'll try to do that again. Kargar, Maharashtra, India. Right? I hope if you see, right, it is properly formatted. And as one level of security, if you want, you can just remove this as editable, and it will also make that sure that it's editable. Now, one important thing, right? One important thing. Okay, sorry. It cannot be read only if it's a formula field and has an expression in that. So that cannot be read only. So it is going to be, but again, it will not let you. Okay, of course the app should read it, but it will not let you change that value. So it is going to stay like there, like that there. And yeah, so now one important thing is, after this, that we should be doing is, again, see, we don't want anybody to come and basically change this, right? We don't want anybody coming and changing this. Now since you are an admin, we can restrict this from changing, and only you can basically change it. But again, that is wrong. But for the time being, what you can do is, uh, let's take this unique and try to put it there. I think that should work, right? As we understood, let's see if that works for the uh, event ID as well. What do you think, guys? Will it work? Will this work, or will it give us an error? Let's try to put this. Okay, this is for own number. We could have just messed up the app. Let's try to put this in the field. Let's see what happens, and let's save this. You see, right, the key column cannot use an app formula. The app formula will be removed, so you have to keep it there. Okay, so you have to keep it there. But again, what you can do is, it you have to make it not editable. Now there are multiple ways how you can do it. One thing is, if it's empty, if it's not empty, you make it uneditable, right? And another is, see, there is one, there is different ways. So see, I'll tell you how I came here. If you just go, see, all these things, right, available here can be changed. I go to event ID. Okay, then I go to update behavior, and editable, yes, no, because if you close this, the app will not be able to edit, and I think that will again give us an error. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it will give us an error. There is some error again, right? The keys might be editable because the app needs to edit it when they want to enter, right? So how do we manage this? So what you can do is, once the key is put, we cannot edit it again. So once the key is there, we cannot edit it again. So what you can do is, you can go into the formula, check for other formulas where they have exist or something like that, is not empty, something of that sort. Now see, it is, we have to find if it's empty. If it's empty, so what we can do is blank. Again, this is the Excel formula again. It was there, right, the formula. Oh shit. Hmm, is blank, right? Is blank. And what we can put inside blank is basically a field that is event ID. Let's try it if this works. Editable only if the field is empty. Editable only if the field is empty. Let's see if this works. It works. So now every time that we go here and if you want to create an ID, you see, right, we have fixed it in a way that it is also letting the app edit because it's empty, but once there is an entry it will not let you update it, and that is how we again secure that nobody can change the unique ID. I hope this is clear. Is this clear, guys? Let me know if what I just did is clear to you guys. Quickly, guys. Now we are going to go on a 2x speed and add other tables, and we'll come back and add make a few modifications tomorrow again, right? So this is just one table, and I'll let you fix other tables, right? We have to quickly add a few tables here and there. Yes. Now see, the internal checks are always in place, right? So what we can do is basically go and add the table. So to add other table, what we can do is add new data. Now see, one thing that has happened, right? It has automatically understood that the sheet that we connected had other tables as well, and it is giving us to add that. So why not use that? But if you see, right, there are new things how you can collect data from Drive, from Appsheet database, and if you want a new source, you have this many options to get to add the data for to your things, right? So what we will do is go in the data part and add organizers, add to app. We'll add new data. We will add registrations, add to app. You see, right, how easy it is. We will add the users tables and add to app. Currently my app is called showstop. Yes, you can. Not possible. I do not know if this will be. Yes, we can try to do that. See, now we have done the data, right? And events and organizers. But again, I do not want to show events, so I'll just go and delete this view. Currently, I do not want to show organizers as an event, right here. So what I can do is for now. See, one more thing I'll tell you, and how this is. See, there are ways where you can place your views. Views basically means how the app looks for every page that comes, right? There is first is basically like if I select the organizers part and put it first, it will just switch places here, right? So and it's middle, data, last, and menu. Now if you do menu, it will be removed from here and it will come into this part and organizers, and we'll let it be there because the main thing that we want to build is the thing that is events, and my current focus is on events. And tomorrow again I'm keeping the database to be corrected so that the people who join new can understand of the changes that we make to the database. So I'm not changing that here today. That is what I want to convey you guys can make the changes that you want according to the app that you want to create. Since it will also work as a recap tomorrow, I'm keeping it this for tomorrow. And as promised, the next thing that we want to quickly do is the theme, right? So we'll just go here. Of course, I love a black theme. I'll just do a custom color. If you have any color code that you love, just let me know. I just have this as my color code 46A5CF. Looks good, right? It looks kind of good, and you can change a logo. You can add a custom logo, but currently, again, tomorrow we'll add a custom logo. As of now, I'll put this rocket as a logo, and it will show here. And you can change a launch image. Basically, right, I'll tell you how it works. If you put this and save this, so every time your app loads, the splash screen that you call, right, is that screen. So you can basically put any custom screen that you create and put welcome to the app or everything. I am going to keep it blank. If this was the thing, I do not know if I changed it. Yeah, that this looks better. You can change it. See, will keep on giving this is a background, but yeah, these are the options that you have, and you can keep on changing it. A background image again which stays on the background does not look good as per me, but if you want, you can have it. You can have custom backgrounds. uh, Try to avoid it messes the user experience. As per me, again, you have your own decisions to make. You can put a background if you love it. Fonts, again, you can change the fonts that are there in your things. I'll stick to Roboto, right? Style, again, how your app looks, right? So you can change it. See, there is a color added on the top and bottom. It's just the bottom. If you write, it's if you not do not understand, it's like the bottom and the top. It's both of these things, and it is just black and white and no colors here, but all only the highlighted part is going to be the color that you choose, right? And if you do this, it's going to be both of things. For me, it is going to be this particular theme, right? I like it this way, right? So we have done with the theming part, and we will save this part. Yeah, we have last 8 minutes. I'll try to see what we can cover, but no worries. We will cover most of the part tomorrow, and most probably we'll have a Saturday session. If not Saturday, I'll try to pull it on a Sunday. Okay, do not worry about that. But we'll make sure that this works and we'll get it working. Uh, we come back to views and general, right? I mean, this is again the if you want the app to start somewhere else in your app, like if you want to start it in the organizers page, you can do it organized page. For us, it is going to be and events. You can start with the about section, that what is about your app and everything, and your app will load with an about section. Currently it does not have that, but I'll tell you how to do that. Pull to refresh the feature, right? So you can use that as well. Pull to refresh. Currently it is not working here because this is my laptop, but it will work on your thing. Desktop preview, yes, no, it will. We want a desktop preview, and that's about it for now. We will come back again here as well. So you have all the customizations. You can basically go and check this, and you can basically see, you can basically customize these all things: the share button, the feedback button, the five buttons in the bottom navigation, disable share button. These are basically customizations that work here and there, and you can basically explore all of that, right? uh, so see, by now just this is available. So view by state, event and everything is there, right? So because we have not linked it, we know in our mind that we want to link all of those stuff, but the app does not know it yet because we have not configured the databases yet, sorry, the tables yet, right? We have just fixed this thing. Now quickly coming to the views part. Views is basically how your app looks like. So events, since we are dealing with the events part first, what I want to do is I'll hate it if it looks like this, but I'll tell you how it works, right? First of all, let's change of the look. Events is going to be let's have some let's have this as an event. So you can, if you have any, see, you can hide this part, action bar, everything. Action bar is not there yet, but it will eventually come. I'll show you what it means. So you can change your icons from here. Display name, if you see, you can, even after creating a table, you can still change it, the display name, which should be user visible to the user right here in the display name, and it will change it here. But for us, we want to keep it same because we want to follow that convention that the name in the database goes out, right? So in databases also, you have a convention, you have a way how you can change the column names to be visible to the users, but internally it stays the same. Similarly, you have that option here. Now show if users, again, we will work on this tomorrow, where it is based on authentication, that a few of the views will be available to the organizers only, a few of the views will be available to or admins only, and that will be on an email based verification that we will do, right? So that is there. Behavior and everything, you can this is basically on the swipes that happen in your apps, that is all taken care of. If you want to redirect an app user on a click directly to this part of the app, you can copy this link and post it in an action that is right here. I'll show you how that works. uh There is one question why the inserted tables are not displayed in the apps UI, because I have not added the views, and one I have moved in this this part, in the navigation menu, sorry, in the menu, right? So it is, so see, uh, to I go back to events here, and your question, right, why it is not visible, I can go and create a new view. I have to create a new view that says, for now I'm just going to keep it deck, and it can be organized as I have users. I will put one for registrations, and I have to select a table. See, all the tables are right here, and see, if you see, right, active thing is marked as a blue, and registrations, I'm not making more of the changes right now today. We will put it as people's who have registered, right, and save it. So again, see, we do not want it to be first, so we'll put it the later part, and events we will make it the first thing, right, and save this. This is how your app looks like now, but it's empty, right? It's literally empty. So how, what can we do to fill this, right? So let's try to make an entry. Event name is going to be La Liga organizer ID. Currently I'm autofilling this. uh, Event type, it's going to be a sports event. Capacity is going to be 400 people. Vacant seats, again, this is going to be auto calculated, but tag for now I am putting this. I'm not changing the date and time right now. City is going to be, where do you want it to happen? We will have it in Andheri, uh, Maharashtra, and India, and that goes there automatically. Description, demo event, I'll tomorrow also show you how you can fix the number. See, no event should have this of a small description. You can set a character length that has to be minimum filled. Now this one thing we missed out, guys. Cover pic should not be like that. Cover pic has to be an image, right? So so what do we select, guys? What do we select? Let me know in the chat. What do we select? Do we select a file? Do we select a image? What do we select? I'll leave it to you. We are going to select image, and for now I am removing the required part from the trailer video, so that we don't have problem there. Oh yeah, I have to refill this, no worries. Mic is also falling. My laptop is on 18%. Let just give me a minute, guys. I need to switch. How do I switch this? Okay, we'll be done maybe. Let's see of how much my laptop can sustain. uh, we might extend 5-10 minutes here and there. Okay, just because I want to show you few things there. La Liga capacity 400, vacant seats 400. We will end today's agenda and then only leave, so that tomorrow we don't have to do a lot of small things, and you can do and come by tomorrow. Maharashtra and India. Venue description, demo, cover pic. Now we need a cover pic. That is where what I'm going to do is, it is going to ask me to upload a file, and currently I'm going to upload any random file that I have. I'm going to upload the postman swags. Okay, so if you have not got this postman swags and want, please go and complete the postman program. It is still live. It's live means the giveaways are still going on. You still have option to complete that program and claim swags like this. And now see, once I hit save, right, now we'll see what happens. Let that go into the database. Okay, we have an error. Wow, we did not save the app. Maybe that was the issue, because it was a text and I guess it took that as in text. Let's give it another try. Event time sports, capacity 400, vacant seats 400. Our team, city, Vashi, Maharashtra, India, description, demo, cover pic. I'm going to use that only now. Okay, so if you guys see it again and again, and if you want to do the course, you can go and do the course. Now see, it has been added. Yeah, it's gone into the app. Now let's go and check the sheets. Okay, let's go and check the sheets. And you see, right, the entry is here. The entry is here. Okay, if you check the entry is here, and now one problem that has happened, right, the cover pic has gone into this particular space, event slash images, right? And we want to restrict it from happening. We want it to go to a proper folder that we will create, right? So how do we do that? Let's quickly see that, and then we will end. But again, this is not how I want my event to look. I want it to look like a gallery. So again, we will change a few things here. We will go to the view, right? We will put it into a gallery mode. This is how the event should look like. I hope this is clear how we are changing the views, guys. We are going to basically put it in the events mode. Sorry, the gallery mode. I hope that is clear. And we want to see the events that are happening first, right? So uh, start date should be ascending. The first event should be first. Currently there is no dates right here, so that will not be visible right now. But yeah, uh, events image size can be small, medium, large, small, medium, whatever you would want to keep, right? I'm keeping it medium. And if you open this, this basically this should show, right? Once you open this all details should show. Now see, I'll also, when I say context, right, context basically means the space or the related area or that covers, right? So we'll see how to hide this from this view, but it is visible in this view, and that is where we'll use some context view as a formula, right? View context. So that is one thing. And similarly, I want users to basically be able to go and add all of the views. Now see, this is the action button that I was that it was there, right? Where was it? If you go to events, hmm, you want to hide this buttons. We don't want to give a user the authority to go and delete the event. Basically they can do it, but let's try to, yeah, we'll change this again because this has to be distributed into two things. No doubt till now, so that's fine. So this is how you can go and add events and everything. But again, as I mentioned, now see where this image is been saved is if I go in the app and try to refresh this is a folder that it has created. Now all the images will go here, but this is not what I want it to be, right? I do not want this to happen. I want to specify my folder structure for images, right? So what we will do is we will come back here. I am going to basically delete this, move to trash. uh, Basically go in the app again, and not app. One thing is I can delete this row and the data from the app would be gone. Not a good idea to do, but uh, for the demo it is fine. The last thing is to make the storage area that I mentioned. So what we'll do is we'll go in the image part where we have the cover pic. We'll click on this. Now you see there is a folder path. Okay, that is a folder path. So first we need to create that folder path that we want. So in the book your show, we will create a folder first that is going to be called as images. So all our images go inside this. I hope this is clear. Any doubts still here, guys? Let me know in the chat, or anything that, see, just you can start putting the doubts here. So by the time I'm done, I can check your doubts as well. So please start putting the doubts that you have, right? Inside the images are related to the events, right? So again, you can basically create as many subfolders and structure. I like to keep it this way, and then I can basically go and create because under, see, inside the images there would be also profile, user images, there will be organizers, any other images, so all thing under images would come here. And events, then this will be called as cover, because that is the cover pic. So images, cover images are this. Now the folder structure is images, events and cover. Okay, the folder structure is images, events and cover. So we'll go back here and write the same thing here, because this takes the reference of the root folder of where your sheet is. So our sheet is right here. If I go back here, our sheet is right here, right, this sheet. So from this sheet, if you have to travel to that cover folder, we have to give that path right here in this, right? So and that is where we are going to give images slash, what did we put, events slash cover. Now this is basically the reference given to this image that is there, that boss, you have to basically put it here. And we are going to save this, and now we are going to try doing it again, right? And that would be the second last part, and I'll lastly dump all the data and show you of how the event would look like. uh Event name La Liga, organizer ID should be automatically generated fetched, but currently we are putting it like this. Parties, again, since it's a time pass thing. Okay, this is wrong. Again, this organizer ID should be automatically taken from the user. Okay, since I am filling this as an organizer, it should take my ID. So we'll see that tomorrow. Currently I am just putting it by myself. So I'm putting Vashi, Maharashtra, India, description, demo, and cover pit again, postman's wax. Now see, the image has to go in our folder that we created. Okay, the image has to go in our folder that we created. We'll go to views and we will change that to gallery, to table gallery. Okay, so this is how it will look. Now let's check off, let's go and quickly check the database how it looks. Now if you see, right, if you see, it has made the changes. Now the reference is taken from images slash event slash cover, and the basically the thing that it wanted to add, and it is cover pick basically here, right? The ID, this is how it formulates the name, cover pick, and the image name, right? I hope this is clear, or everyone, is this clear, guys? Let me know quickly in the chat if this is clear. And if you go and check, right, if you go in images, if you go in events, if you go in cover, the image will have automatically landed here. That is how we have fixed the structure, and we are done with today's agenda. Now the only thing that I need to do is dump the database. Just let me just pull off my screen a moment. uh, where do I have this database? Just give me a minute, I need to just pull my screen off the this part. Meanwhile, you guys can just go and basically ask your doubts that you have. Quickly just go and ask the doubts that you have. I can basically now go and share again, I think. Yeah, and I'm going to paste this here. I have to match the Mhm. Just a minute, we are fixing. Do not worry, it is nothing fancy. I'm just making sure that everything is at proper place. because we cannot mess with the format that we just made, right? So that is why I am doing all of this mehnat. And event name and organizer ID should be like this. So let's, that is fixed. Description is wow so far. So what we will do is we'll get this table here basically, and we have capacity somewhere. Yes, we have capacity somewhere. We don't have this. We will copy description from here. And okay, we have cover pick here, so we will copy this cover pick. I'm just fixing the sheet, guys, nothing to worry about. No fancy thing is happening here. End time, everything is correct. Event type is correct. Capacity is there. And wow, I lost the description? No, I have it. And then I put the description here. And then I remove the extra rows that we created here as well. And we just ensure that our last we remove this part. And okay, there is one extra ID. Yes. And currently this is going to be like this because we decided to not keep it empty, so I'm filling this manually. And I hope this is done. And this is, let me just fix the dates. Command Shift H, 2023 with 2024. This, it's old database that I am using here. So 2023 with 2024. Okay, let me just see the doubts if you have put any. Okay, yes. Now let's go and check how the app looks like. My Mac is going to run out of power in some time. Let me do one thing. Let me go and plug this off and get this here. Do not know what things I lost on this, but okay, now I have power sometime more. I hope my screen is properly visible. Okay. Now, where was I? Yes. Now let's check the app of how it looks. Let's do a refresh. Now you see, right, there is a broken image. There are broken images, but we have kind of the thing that you are building, but there is broken images. So let's fix this. So I am basically going to delete this folder. And I did make a backup of the folder that I wanted to upload. So I'm going to drop that folder in here. We'll wait for it to upload. So meanwhile, it's been uploaded, right? The question that you had regarding student ambassador program. So it's basically ambassador program where you get to talk to us, work closely with us, and make us reach more students. We have milestones that are set. So the more people, basically, it's the more people you refer to and bring to this free programs, because you're not selling anything right here. You're just helping us reach more and more people, your college mates, your friends, and everything, who can benefit from all of these programs. And that is the least that we ask, so that we can grow and help more people. And also, this is not in vain. We have milestones where you get goodies, you get badges and everything, and you can keep on applying for student ambassador programs again and again. So till now we have had 5,000 ambassadors with us in the last couple of 4-5 months. So this month also we have got around 550 registrations. So if you want to be a part of that ambassador program, you can just go and check the link. The moderators are putting it there, so you can go and apply for that ambassador program. The invite should be out shortly, maybe by tomorrow or something. You should get invites, and the onboarding lectures will sessions will be starting from 1st of June, right? So it's a 30 days program where you have to where we have milestones set, and depending on how you progress, you get goodies and rewards for that. Also, there are coupons that we distribute, so it's kind of fun. We get helped, you get in rewards, that kind of stuff, and you have a leaderboard where you can track everything. So that is only once you become an ambassador, you get a badge as well. And just a insider information, since we are setting up a Discord server where there's a lot of engagement, you will have a private you can say space of ambassadors, of previous ambassadors, where you'll get some special access to some special servers that all other students won't have access to, right? So that is one thing. And let's see if our event app is now working, and let's do a refresh. Let me just check if all the images have been loaded. Yes, the images have been loaded, and I'm going to just do a refresh, and we should be back with, okay, wow, did this not work or what? Hmm. Let me just go and check what happened in the database. Okay, what else did I miss on? I'll do a refresh. This generally works. There's some. Mhm. Let me try changing this to show spot. Sometimes it works in a weird way. Not sure why. We'll fix this tomorrow at max. And one more thing forgot to mention, the main thing is how to deploy the app so that you can share it with others or access it in your mobile as well. We'll do that. We'll run a deployment check, and mostly the check should be passed. In your case, since it's on a free tier, it will show a problem, but you will get an option on continue anyway right here. There will be move to editing stage and continue anyhow. So move, just click that, and it should be deployed. Uh, so I'm just going to deploy it. Yeah, I guess that was the problem. I suppose that was the problem. We did not deploy, and yes, now we have the app running, and we have all the images that we had there. And I would love you guys to do it on your own, right? One thing that you guys can, okay, no, this much is fine. If you do this much is also fine, and all the links are with you guys, right? This sheet link is also with you. I'll let you guys copy paste it. Don't send this access request, guys. I am not going to give you edit access to this app at all. You have an option to copy, right? So what you can do is, I'll tell you, do not send editor request, because I cannot accept hundreds and hundreds of requests. What you can do is basically put it in an incognito mode, and you have an option in, if you go in a file, you have an option to download the file, or you can basically create a copy. right? You can download the file. You have an option to download the file. Okay, so do that. Do not ask permissions to edit the file, because that is not going to happen. All right, I guess that should be it for today, guys, and I hope this was very much fun for you guys. If you loved the session, please like the session, like the let's smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and bring your friends along tomorrow again. And thank you for all the 33 members for sticking for 2 hours. Right. Uh, Okay, I'll take some queries right here. All these certificates are free. You don't have to pay anything for the Postman program, right? Let me just tell you what you need to do. There is the playlist on YouTube, or let me just how to get goodies, right? Just go on the website letsupgrade.in. Let me just go there and show you myself. Just go on the program letsupgrade.in programs. This is the program. Apply now. Since it's already done, you can still go and apply. Since because it runs for 14 days, the goodies is open. You can go and enroll and you can start learning again. You can go in my programs and find that. That is one thing. Or else again, you can directly do that on YouTube as well. So if I just go, since we're done with the session, if I go here in the app and open the Let's Upgrade YouTube channel. Mm, and if you go down somewhere, the playlist should be there. If not, go to videos and just select Postman and search for the program that just happened. Okay, there are many Postman programs that we do every month. So previous ones will not work because we change all the links, right? So this is the Postman program. Check the dates, guys. Check the dates. It has to be this one. If you want, I'll share the playlist link with you. And if you see, one thing that you can do is join the WhatsApp channel, join the Telegram groups, so that you get quick access to all the updates that we put. Right, for now I am going to put this channel this year, and this is the link. You can store it, and if you love this, right, please go and post about it on Instagram. Tag us, tag let's upgrade dot in. Go on Twitter, tag let's upgrade at underscore in. So our social handles are also mentioned in the description towards the end of the part. If you're on LinkedIn, just go and tag let's upgrade there as well, and post about what you learned about Appsheet. Tag Appsheet, tag Google, right? So it also, like, basically it helps us reach more and more people, right? And as I mentioned, if you're interested, join the student ambassador program, and I'll meet you again in ambassador program as well. We cover a lot of advanced stuff there as well, right? Thank you programming for that feedback, appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you guys staying to the end. Thank you so much. It was lovely teaching you again after so much time. I'll see you guys tomorrow, right? Have a great night, and we'll meet tomorrow. Try joining early. I'll be joining by 6:15, so that we can, do a few changes here and there, right? So yeah, that's it. That's about it. Thank you so much. I'll just go and end this session. Shreya, can we have the outro rolling in, please? Thank you.